Alright guys, we're going to do a really quick refresh check here. My biggest day in Shopify dropshipping. How often do you transparently see a $500,000 plus day? We're going to go onto the Shopify dashboard. We're going to go into the ad account and deep dive into everything that it takes to do this. So as you guys can see right here, I am going to refresh it really quickly. You can see over $500,000 on the day. So we're gonna break this down very hard.
Also, there's a link down below to claim over $1,500 in free TikTok ad credit. It's going until the 1st of January, so please take advantage of it now. I know that is a crazy growth hack.
And to be honest, I know this number probably seems extremely intimidating and out of reach. But I wanna let you know, guys, that just by setting a goal and just by building brick by brick from the 1K days to the 5 to 10 to 50K days, like I mentioned before, you can very much do this. And I can guarantee that this video will make you more money and at the very least bring more clarity to you. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how we did it from the sales, the offers, the creatives, the ad accounts, and everything else that's needed to perform at this level. You never see anybody refresh these types of results, go into the ad accounts on these results, and the sole purpose is to motivate and push you guys just so you know that anything is possible. Also, if you feel lost and you wanna see more of these case studies on a weekly basis, you can join my Discord. This is a high-level community of people who actually wanna take this seriously and be surrounded by people doing better than them. The success rate in there is unbelievable. There's a link down below, doesn't cost you anything. So I'm gonna divide this into two parts. I'm gonna talk surface level, like the product, the offer, and the creatives. Once we have that out of the way and you guys have a good understanding, we're gonna deep dive into the back end stuff like the ad accounts, the payment processing, credit lines that were used, etc. So starting off, these are the three things that I focused on to achieve this $500,000 plus day. And if you do the same, you'll most likely increase your cash flow as well. Guys, my first six-figure day was almost 2 years ago. I'm gonna give you guys the most transparent knowledge out there, so let's begin. So the number one thing is gonna be your product, obviously. But in order for this product to be a winner, it needs to be accompanied by an amazing offer and amazing creative, so we'll get into that as well. But the first thing, as simple as possible, your product needs to be buyable to anybody. Now again, I know people make millions and millions of dollars a day selling very niche little things, but this is drop shipping here. We're not some huge business. We haven't had our skin in the game for 20 years or anything like that. So I quickly looked for something that had a broad mass appeal, such as jewelry. And what I liked is relationship jewelry. So I noticed that it wasn't just limited to men, 24 years old or something. It was, any woman, any girl, or any man, or any boy could buy this jewelry. And we really honed in on the relationship, the love between a couple, and we actually hit them in their emotions, and everybody who saw it was like, that is so cool, that's amazing, and it had that wow factor to it. So we could source the product very, very cheap considering it was relationship jewelry. Jewelry is very small pieces, and typically when you're doing extreme volume, you can negotiate and get crazy prices with your supplier. Again, guys, if you do need any supply or anything like that, I recommend just going into the links down below or Discord or whatnot and using Merchant Pal. That's probably going to be your best for sourcing any product. You're going to see the different rates, the different shipping times, and all that good stuff. But this was huge. We found something that everybody liked. And don't just think it was boys and girls buying it for their girlfriends. It was kids buying it for their parents, parents buying it for their kids. And it was something that everybody loved. When you're typically drop shipping products, you see a lot of guys selling really bad, products that don't really work too well. And they don't scale. They won't work. People don't like it. The page or the ad accounts will get banned after a few days. It takes a lot of time to find winners like this and to actually make them work and find a margin and run with it. So that is what I would say the number one thing for the product needs to be, is it needs to be something that anybody could buy. You could source it very cheaply and people genuinely love it and have a need and interest for it. So offer, and one thing with the offer is I love is to go over quantity breaks and things like that, or bundles. I think upsells are huge. I don't think we would have been profitable without upsells, to be honest with you. I think that makes up for about a 10% or 15% of these sales that you see right here. So upsells are absolutely mega and much needed, especially in any dropshipping product. So apps that I don't have any affiliation with these apps, but apps like Bundle Bear or Zipify one-click upsell have been huge for us. I've actually made my own apps, to be honest. I use a third-party checkout now, and we have it all custom coded and done ourselves, just because I don't like using Shopify payments and payment processing needs for when you're at this scale. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Typically people just sell their product and say 50% off or something, and they don't want cheap, they want a good deal. If you give somebody a cheap product or like make it just seem super cheap and nothing, like they just think it's BS and they don't want to get it and they don't want to be the guy who got that. If you give a good deal, like buy one get one 25% off. Like I used to do these crazy offers, and these these more refined 35% off for Black Friday or whatever, that's what I'm going to be doing this year, works so well. And then you can have the bundles like buy 3 get X amount off, buy 2 get X amount off, all that good stuff. Buy 4 get X amount off, all that good stuff. You get people buying for their family, their loved ones, their family and friends. You want to make that offer so good where then they can go feel good about themselves by giving to other people or buying for other people, so they select 2 or they want 3, and just for $5 to $10 more they can do so. So creatives are huge and they need to be done right. I see so many people come to me with their creatives and I'm like, what am I looking at? And you probably heard me say this on the channel before, but they use all these trending sounds, they use all these BS models, things like that. That doesn't matter. In fact, it only will deter your audience, that you're trying to hit, and start hitting these random weird niche pockets. And yeah, I don't even want to get into that. In the first 3 seconds, your creative needs to either show the product, the function, or the offer, is what I've concluded. By showing the function of the product, so I'm going into this jewelry and all of a sudden you see, a relationship or a cute couple or, someone in their dog or someone in their, loved one. You're like, wow, that's cool. And then all of a sudden you see you can get 2, buy 1, get 1. Like, what the heck? It's crazy. Like, it literally plays a mind game on people when you hit it like that. This isn't like a guessing game. This is down to a science. I've been doing this for years, 6 years at this point. And one thing that I've done is every time I run ads, I collectively am always learning. I'm always looking at the data, looking at the click-through rate, looking at the audience that is hitting, the cost per clicks of that audience, and creating the best, I'd call it a symphony of a creative. Boom, hit them with that function, hit them with the offer, then just highlight how amazing the product is with some high quality footage of literally just the product. Some of you guys may know what I'm talking about or what I sell, and that's all we focused on. Was just those 3 things. I've said it continuously, religiously. This works for Facebook, TikTok, Google. So now that you guys have the fundamentals down, we can jump into the real things that allow me to do over $500,000 a day. So we're gonna jump into these numbers. So as you guys can see here, just another quick refresh check on the ad account. Yeah, we spent a little over $110,000 this day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this wasn't so much to make a profit, although I knew I was gonna make like some good money off of it. I'm like a guy who just loves to throw myself at problems, and I think you should be too. As you can see inside of these campaigns, we have some crazy results as far as like the CPCs and all that go. And then you also see some campaigns with not so good results as far as CPC goes. Typically, I like my CPC under 20 cents. This was not a good CPC for a lot of these campaigns. And the day was kind of like going on and I'm like, we're just trying to spend this credit. We have kind of like a quota to meet at this point to get it raised again, right? I want to acquire even more credit with TikTok. I want to spend more money on ads. I want to do $1 million days. So I'm going to talk about the 3 most important things. It's going to be your ad account and what we do in the ad account. Then I'm going to talk about the payment processing structure, which, oh my God, so important. And then what brings it all together, your checkout, right? So one of the most essential things though, is that you can see is I was using an agency account. That's how I access these credit lines. That's how I build these relationships with TikTok. And as you can see here, like these results are possible. But the way I do it is I target the big 5 countries, not just the US or Canada or my home country. I target these countries and I use the settings within these agency accounts. And if you guys are trying to get agency accounts, I highly recommend it for anyone actually being serious and trying to push scale. You need like an interface. You need a team of people who are always getting accounts ready for you. You need more than 1 ad account. You need all that good stuff. You guys can check out Ad Stealth down below. It's what I use for all my advertising needs. As far as the ad accounts go, as you can see, we had a mixture of some ABOs, some CBOs. What we found out is we were creating multiple new pixels throughout the day. We had a campaign we had to turn off because it was just performing horribly. And not gonna lie, the first half of the day was scary. I'm pretty sure we were like a little negative, but we knew that the last half of the day is where you really capitalize and where it picks up and you hit those amazing multipliers within the algorithm when you know how to like surf scale it properly. So then we had these 2 campaigns created, actually ABOs, and they just performed amazingly. Usually want to scale CBOs, but this was kind of like a heroic, like these ABOs just saved the day. Some days are different. CBOs, in my opinion, are a bit more consistent on TikTok ads, but again, it is to each their own media buying strategy. And I just just want to show you guys that, as you can see, we're not going to actually set up ads together. If you are interested in, having this done for you in a curated way to where it works with your business, there is a type form down below. You can apply and see if we're fit to work in the one-on-one mentorship, as well as there will be a whole PDF going over the actual ad strategy, what to do, when to do it, the rules of doing a $500,000 day. But as you can see, it's not like we targeted worldwide traffic, because some people are probably like, how do you get such cheap traffic? It was because we opened up the age ranges, and for some reason it just found the right audience. I don't know if there was a mixture of high school couples and stuff that started getting a hold of these ads, but it would just blew up, and it quite literally made up for everything. I bet you've seen myself, so many other dropshippers be like, the day started off iffy, but since I stuck through it, we were able to come out on top. That's exactly what happened here at Gigascale. In fact, the biggest scale I've ever been at. So just know, all the same common ideologies, the way you run your ads, the way everything works, it's all the same when you scale. You're simply just adding zeros onto the end. How do I make more money dropshipping? Well, you spend more on ads, right? So now it's the payment processing. The payment processing is the most important part, right? If you can't take in people's payments, or if you're getting holds and reserves, then you can't make money. You literally can't make money. And, just through my career, having hundreds of payment processors have little holds or reserves or things like that, or, go under review for 6 months and things like that. So how did I do it? I have a lot of banks that I actually work with on this, specifically just Chase is really the best, and multiple merchant accounts under the same business. So what this allows me to do is have more of a processing power. And since I have such good history and I've scaled up through the years, like I said, my first 6-figure day was 2 years ago, and I've been doing consistent 5-figure days for a long time. The banking relationship, allowed me, I made sure to notify them of what was going on. I said, hey, I got this new credit line. I want some more problems in my life. I want to learn more. I'm going to try to push my business to the next level. Obviously, under the same company, it was spread between multiple merchant accounts from Chase. And that's what allowed us to, easily take in the processing volume. But you might be like, well, how does that even work, right? So we used a third-party checkout, and we used a CRM, a customer relationship manager. So basically what this allows is our suppliers can go on there and easily send out tracking. We can easily go on there and answer support for everybody. It's just like an all-in-one stop shop for every big business has one behind the wall. That Facebook, every business has their own CRM where they have all of your data and everything. And when you're doing this type of money, you don't want Shopify to own your data. It's your data. But this is how we were able to connect all the different merchant accounts to the checkout. And also the checkout that we use is actually a one-page checkout. So it makes the whole checkout process much easier. I think this helps conversion rate. It's faster. I really think it does help conversion rate a lot. And then obviously we have those upsells. I typically do 2 post-purchase upsells and 1 downsell. With that being said, those are some of the most important back-end parts that you need. There's no one on YouTube that's going to talk about in a video payment processing, but when it comes to what's required and things like that, we aren't just using Stripe account. And I hate to just keep plugging, but this is the one stop. It's all free. All the information's free. But for anyone who's really serious, all the information is in the Discord for, getting merchant accounts, things like that, chargeback protection. Well, guys, that is everything you need to do a $500,000 days, all the fundamentals, all the nitty gritty. Make sure to subscribe for all the upcoming value. I'm going to be taking it very high level here soon and showing you everything behind the scenes of my ad accounts, my Shopify stores, and more. Answering all the questions in the comments down below. Make sure to drop a like. That's been it for me. Peace out, soldier up, and salute.